All right, folks, welcome on back here this Wednesday, January 26th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Great to see Chuck and Gary, and great to see Michael, albeit he's off to the dentist. He just wrote to all of us here in the chat board. Great to see Norman and Ari and Patrick, Lewis, Leda as well, all of us joining us live inside Cyber Group. Great to see you all. And if you're joining us once again back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube, likewise, welcome on back, folks. So let's hop right into the thick of things. We do have the phase one stock course closing things out for the phase one, at least later on this afternoon. Bit of a small turn or short turnover with classes, right? Because right after we finish up today's set of classes with phase one, normally next week we would be on to the phase two course. But for this month in particular, we're actually doing all of phase two beginning tomorrow. So no rest for the wicked, folks. With that in mind, let's go right from top to bottom. We'll scan the market, build up our afternoon watch list. Rich, I appreciate you posting the link right there for all of our students inside our trading room. So make sure that you folks click that link. If not now, then perhaps as soon as we finish up this broadcast here, just to make sure that you're squared away and good to go. But we do have a lot to talk about. The Fed meeting just ended up concluding. For right now, they left the rates unchanged. That's pretty much the headline behind it, and we ended up seeing a bit of a pop right away on the S&P ETF here, the SPY, but then it came back down. And right now, it's still a little bit indecisive with where it wants to move to, at least for the next 90 or so minutes. My prediction, and this is exactly that, just a prediction, but I think this could be a lower high, and the SPY begins to pull back further here, heading into the close. I am in one trade currently that I'll tell you about in just a bit. But for right now, Workhorse WKHS, it's on the screen here to start. It was looking good up until practically like 2:15. Like really good it was looking. Nice trend of higher lows, broke a higher high just before, but very bearish pullback here in the sense of, at least to see maybe a higher low from this point, from 350, to see support build from there, and then for it to run up higher. Didn't even have a chance to see that happen. So, hey, I like Workhorse. It's a great stock to trade, when we're trading it off of news or maybe a short squeeze potentially. And this could be a potential short squeeze incoming. But the way it looks right now on the intraday, for right now, this is not too tempting here. If it ends up making a big pop by the end of this meeting, I'll certainly reconsider. But otherwise, we'll just go right from top to bottom. I'll do a little Bitcoin today, folks, with today being Wednesday. Normally Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I talk a bit about crypto. But to give you the heads up, and we'll do this probably over the next few weeks, but I think we're going to do away with Monday, Wednesday, Friday cryptos and kind of make that its own separate video, its own video on our YouTube channel. So for right now, we'll do crypto at least at the end of this meeting. Just want to let you folks know. EBON, with the way this is looking right now, it hasn't pulled back like that last one, at least. It's holding strong for right now. And believe it or not, actually, EBON used to move with Bitcoin. It actually is a China-based company, if I'm not mistaken. This was before China ended up making their like 9th or 10th banning of crypto. This was back like midway or early through last year. And EBON was one of the stocks, at least before the China government cracked down on them, they were moving really well with Bitcoin. And actually, Chuck follows up inside our live trading room by saying they're actually the largest Chinese miner that he thought of, right there. So that kind of goes hand in hand with my my thoughts right there. But yeah, right now, the way this is moving, I'll put this on our list to begin. By the end of this meeting, if it dumps all the way back down, maybe I knock it off our list. But for right now, we'll put this on to start. Otherwise, though, we'll keep going through. LRN didn't look too tempting at first and not looking great right now. That leads us to Groupon, GRPN. I know that Rich posted the news here inside the live trading room just a moment ago. I'm going to re-pull it up right now. All right, looks like there's a Bloomberg report regarding Groupon. It says payments firm SumUp seeks new funds at a 22 billion with a B dollar value. The note with this is that Groupon holds a stake in that company SumUp. Interesting. Ended up coming out that news shortly prior to 1:30 Eastern time, and with the way this is rocking right now for the afternoon, of course we're going to put this on our list. That's right. They did a reverse split back last year. This was like a $3, $4 stock at one point. That was before the reverse split. So the $27, price level here kind of threw me for a loop. This stock is nowhere close to all-time highs, let alone 52-week highs. So, at least in terms of maybe a historical resistance, looks like you kind of just broke above one right now, if not still testing it right around that 27.73 price or 27.75 or so. So that in itself is actually a really big level here for Groupon. GRPN. All right. Well, we got another push on SRRA, SRRA. I'll kind of nickname it SRRA probably going forward. Ended up making a really nice bounce back up once again this morning. And for right now, it's right near the highs of the day at least. A lot closer to the highs than it is the lows, and showing a higher low at least as of right now. So I'll put this on our watch list here too. SRRA. I'd be really careful about this one though, folks. Really thin volume out there on the order book. All right, I may as well get to this now because I see the SPY dropping off. It's pretty much doing what I thought it would do across the next 90 minutes, but it's doing it pretty damn fast. I'm short on AMC. I've been short from 1779 shortly after the Fed meeting came out. I was anticipating a move, and at first I went long, and I ended up getting chopped up for a -6. But it's to say I was following AMC, and in particular, if I can draw it quick enough here. No, it wasn't even that. Yeah, so to say, a trend line of this stature here, it broke under it, but right back above it. Generally held this trend line really well across the late morning, the early afternoon, and it broke it here. But going into the Fed meeting, this is where I was playing it. So for right now, I've been short, still short, and the way AMC looks as a short here heading into the close. Just put this on our watch list as far as a stock that can move with the market here. You could probably say the same on a bunch of stocks. SoFi, ended up making the pop at first, then dropped right back down. I'm sure a Palantir, I'm sure a Neo, I'm sure an airline or a cruise line, you name it, really. But AMC in particular was moving pretty sharp, at least even, upon the market opening up today. So we've been following it. And for that reason, it was looking pretty sharp prior to the Fed announcement. So that's why I was more particular about AMC. Hey, at the end of this meeting, if there's other stocks that are moving with the market right now, folks, then I'll definitely give it a second look, right? So for right now, I'll add AMC in particular. We have the SRRA trade, Groupon, as of now, EBON. And we'll just jump back to the gainer side here. Otherwise, I don't know if there's going to be much else that's going to be really moving against the grain or going completely up if the markets are falling off. Here's LAZR, LAZR, ended up making a pretty nice run from the market open today. It was holding its own going into the meeting, but even this is dropping off a little bit here. Ooh, CORZ. It's shortable, first off. That's the first thing I noticed. Otherwise, though, it's near the highs, pushing up right now, actually, a decent, like 50-cent move. It's not really trading a whole lot of volume per minute. So that's my bigger gripe than anything. I'll slip this on our list, I guess, the CORZ. I like the direction here so far, at least. Familiar name, Lagavulin, LGVN, not the Scotch whiskey. I always like to say that. Long Everence, officially the name of the company. But yeah, ended up making a nice pop here. And for right now, hasn't dumped off completely, didn't completely pull back. So it's still showing strength to a degree. On the flip side, you could also say it's just kind of flat and trading in a tighter range. So yeah, you could say that as well. But for the meantime, at least given more of the afternoon pop and volatility here, I don't mind giving LGVN the shine. Put this on our list. All right, we got HUT. We got a few of the Bitcoin mining affiliated stocks here, like HUT HUT. I saw Riot and Mara on the gainers list a bit earlier. HUT's not looking too great right now. I mean, I wish it was closer to the highs. A lot of things just generally moving with the S&P right now. Pixie pretty flat and slow right now. DraftKings from earlier today, they ended up getting the $31 price target. Look at the SPY. Nice little pushback up here over the last 5 minutes. I have to be careful on my AMC short. I may look to scale a decent chunk of that out right now. But otherwise, what we'll do is we'll hop over to the losers list in between. We'll see if there's anything looking just as good, if not better, on that side of the field, so to say, right? Let's do that. GATO, talk about a good short opportunity. This was a hell of a short today, folks. Ended up dropping off pretty much as soon as the market opened up, but then it ended up making a beautiful lower high right here. It ended up pushing up, but came right back down. And when this came back down right around 375, that was a pretty big volume level that we were looking at least inside the live trading room. So for that reason, that's the reason why I was following this as a short today. It was shortable to begin with. It gave us that opportunity. If it was hard to borrow, then, simply put, I wouldn't have shorted it. But just to say, at least it's down big off of some news. And if it's not going to make that illustrious dead cat bounce that we would hope for, what direction is it going to go in, you think? It's going to go down. So this ended up making for a really good trade earlier today, at least. Right now, though, Gato is flat. You know what's funny? El Gato, I think, means the cat, if I'm not mistaken. Well, El Gato, I don't know what dead means in Spanish, but let's get a little El Gato dead bounce, something of that nature, dead cat bounce, so to say. Right? Ron says, see. There you go. I never took Spanish, so that's like one of maybe 4 words in Spanish that I actually know. That's it. So just funny thing there. All right, NAVI down big. It's kind of at the lows right now, actually. It is shortable, but I'm going to pass on it for right now. IQ is at the lows right now. This is almost too slow for us here as a possible short. Hey, we have a good eye on some shorts heading into the afternoon, but if the stock is going to have this type of liquidity on the book, it's just not really worth it. Much more often than not, at least, it's not worth it. All right, what else do we have here? Unfortunately, actually, let me click this one pretty quick. I don't mind going back to yesterday's pick here, the APM. Oh, this one didn't work out from yesterday afternoon, did it? We were talking about this as a possible setup to where it ended up beginning to make a good push right off of 225. I'm talking right even here. I jumped in. I told you folks, I jumped in right here when it broke above 225. I did also tell you I had my stop set right under that point, literally by a penny. I told you that on the broadcast yesterday. Unfortunately, when this pulled back, I got stopped out for a -2, but better that than what happened afterwards, at least across yesterday afternoon, let alone this morning here. So yeah, APM, unfortunately, from yesterday afternoon, it didn't make as good of a push as I wanted. But you got to know when to fold them, folks. Now, Norman wrote earlier in the chat board, at least, he caught AT&T on the way down. It was at the lows, going into this meeting. So not everything was, pushing up, at least prior to the Fed meeting finishing up. With AT&T here, should the markets continue to fall off, I would only anticipate for this to drop off even further. So, yeah, certainly AT&T is a good short to work with going into the afternoon. There we go, Chuck. For anyone interested in knowing what dead cat bounce means in Spanish, Chuck wrote Rebote del gato muerto, I think that is, if I'm not mistaken. I have bad pronunciation on that last word, Chuck. But there you go. That's funny. All right. So, folks, if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you'd want me to check out, let me know. Type it in the chat board, at least. In the meantime, I'll do a little Bitcoin. At least for right now. If I can get my charts up, at least. There we go. So, not a whole lot's happened really over the last few days. We've begun to see a small retracement back up. This is the Bitcoin hourly chart, and this is the exact chart that I used in the video I posted on our YouTube channel, the same one with the lines and the EMAs. I didn't have that up back for Monday this week. So, just to say for right now, Bitcoin, albeit it did push back up pretty nicely from right around 33,000, 34,000, this dashed red line here. This is the midway point between major support that broke at 40,000 and the next major support here, roughly off of 29. So right around 34.5, I drew a line there just as a midway point. I wasn't necessarily expecting that to hold as support. It held a little bit, little shake under and back over. I'm not a believer in this move back up yet, folks, and that's the talking point. I talked about that in the video I made back on Saturday over the weekend, where, should we see a retracement back up, I was anticipating on the 500 EMA here on the daily chart to act as a major resistance, given how far it broke off from it. I was expecting a smaller break off from it. All right, well, it broke off a lot more, so you have to improvise, as I said. In this case, off such a big break of the 500 EMA, I am expecting a little more turbulence now at this point as a resistance, right around 40,000, 40,500, just basically to say that 500 EMA in orange. All right, so even going into the Fed meeting and once the FOMC finished up, we had a bit of a spike up on Bitcoin, but then with the markets came right back down. So that's pretty much all I got for you there, folks. Again, I'll probably do more separate Bitcoin videos, at least, comparative to just slipping it in here at the end of the meetings. All right, from Skip asking about TradeStation charts. Yeah, TradeStation's loading up charts a little slow here today. That's not just you. Try and delete your cache on your TradeStation folders on your C drive. You have to close the platform down and then do that. I did that early in the morning, and thankfully it helped me quite a good amount. Looks like AMC is still chugging along here, folks. SPY's dropping off, so this is paying off pretty nicely. If there's any other stocks that you would want me to look at here pretty quickly, just let me know. I will say right now, AMC is at a bit of a support level off of 1664. It's a big print level I drew on my chart. We got Dust and JDST, the inverse gold ETFs, moving on up right now. Got one here, TSVT. I don't know what the chart looks like. It's from the losers list, I think. TSVT. And Skip, I'll tell you what, now my charts are freezing up on me here now too, man. You can kind of see the lag right now on my charts, my platform. I may have froze myself up, folks. That's not good. At least somewhat good timing, at least with this being the very end of our meeting right now. Here's the TSVT trade. This thing's not looking good. I mean, not even as a short. It's down and it's just spotty. It's easy to borrow, but not particular about this one for right now. All right, folks. And then aside from that, I'll tell you, I'm going to just close up shop for right now because I want to make sure I could unfreeze my computer, be good to go for class coming up. One last call, folks, for all of us joining me in the Phase 1 stock course. Phase 1 Lesson 4 lined up coming up at 3:05 Eastern Time later on today. I'm going to repost the link right there myself. We're going to be talking all about information resources, aka news. Whole class on news, folks. So I look forward to it. But aside from that, for those of us not joining us in class, best of luck trading here going into the market close. I'll talk to you folks all soon. Take care.